Hey Internet, Captain Erika here, coming at you with kind of a different video today, but I just wanted to get this out there and hopefully maybe it'll help somebody or be therapeutic for me or whatever. So let's just go ahead and get started. I have downgraded from a smartphone to a dumb phone. And while that doesn't seem like it would be that big of a deal, it kind of is. I'm embarrassed almost to be making this video because I feel like my self-control and things are not good. But I don't think I'm the only person that feels this way, so hopefully this is gonna be good to post on the internet. This is like peak first world problem, and I am aware of that, so be nice to me. It is something that I didn't expect to have a problem with, but hey, technology be crazy. So anyway, let's just jump into it. I've kind of got like three kind of main points I want to make sure I make in this video, and Teddy is playing in the background, so if you hear anything, that's him or the baby monitor. Anyway, so I don't know about you, but social media is a blessing and a curse in my life. And I felt like I was spending more and more time on my phone recently in a way that I don't want to be like doing that in front of my kids. And so I've had kind of all these little ideas in the back of my brain about, for a couple years now, about like why I might want to switch back to like a dumb phone. And it's just kind of been piling up. And so even though I'm not experiencing depression, postpartum depression with Jane, it's winter. I never do super good in the winter, and this winter it's been really bad, and I can just see that like void of depression just trying to like suck me in. And so among many reasons, I decided that I've got to intervene in a fairly significant way to decrease my smartphone use. So smartphones are amazing tools. We all know this. But I think it's almost like too amazing for our brains in a way. Like you get that dopamine hit where, you know, you just want more and more of the scrolling, and you don't even really realize what you're doing. And the thing is, for me, it's like social media isn't entirely toxic. I have a lot of friends on social media. Without the like bushcraft community on Instagram and stuff, like those are my peeps. Like I don't have in real life female bushcrafter friends, for example, but I do on Instagram. So like I was kind of using that as an excuse to stick around. And it's not that I have disappeared, but I needed to set some strong boundaries with myself. And so I know some of you are like, just don't have social media on your smartphone. And it's like, yeah, I tried that. But it's really easy to re-download those things, or like I think of something or whatever, and it just like, you think you've got it under control, and then you don't, and you kind of like get sucked back in. So like many of us, I think we all have kind of like hobbies or projects or whatever that we want to work on outside of whatever a career is. And it's easy to waste time on the internet. So, you know, not only do I want to be an exceptional mom and homemaker and all that stuff, which is what I'm doing right now, but I also want to do stuff that I like to do. And it was turning into this thing where I just didn't like what I was doing that much on my free time, which wasn't even free, because a lot of times, you know, you could be doing something else. Anyway, I feel like I'm kind of preaching to people that like you're gonna get it, like if this is a problem for you or whatever. So anyway, so the social media thing, especially just the way it like kind of manipulates your attention, was bothering me a lot. Speaking of big tech, I think we all kind of get that big tech is evil. I hope you get it. You know, they're acquiring all this data about us. They, you know, are trying to manipulate us into staying onto their, you know, apps so that they can advertise to us. They have a lot of information about us that is kind of a tool for their disposal / maybe the government's disposal. I don't really want to get into that too much, but regardless, I think privacy is an issue, And having this little microphone thing in your pocket that not only can detect what you're saying, but it can detect when you're moving, if you pick up the phone, if you're near other phones, if you're moving around the world. It's just like a lot of information. And for a long time, and I know this is an argument for some people still, is that, well, I don't do anything bad, so who cares? And I just don't think that's true. Like, you should care that these other people and AI and big tech, not motivated by right motives people, know that much information about you. So I'm not going full tinfoil hat, but I am trying to dial it back just a little bit. And so the basic phones and things like that don't have as advanced technology to spy on you. Yes, I'm aware they can triangulate your position. Yes, I'm aware that like it has an IP. I'm connected to the grid, blah, blah, blah. Like, we can really get into the weeds of privacy. And I feel like with this phone in particular, so this is a Kyocera Durex V Extreme. This phone is like a construction worker phone. It's actually like really solid and awesome. And this has hotspotting features and things that Wi-Fi can connect to Wi-Fi and some stuff, but it's not quite, I haven't connected it to Wi-Fi, but it's not quite the same as like having a full-on smartphone. So I recommend, if you really want to get into the weeds of privacy deeply, check out Internet Privacy Guy. He is a guy on YouTube. I'll link his channel below. He's really interesting. He talks a lot about like privacy to a detail that I don't have like brain space for right now. But he talks about how to, navigate the digital world in a way that you're not aiding these companies and like knowing everything about you. But he's not like up to no good or something. Like, and that's the thing. We are not up to no good. I hope you aren't. But that doesn't mean that you don't just want things to be private. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. Privacy is important to me, and I think this is a way to just hard reset, like they can't spy on me as easily with a basic phone. So the last thing, like main reason why I wanted to switch from a smartphone to a dumb phone is a strange, repeating, neurotic dream I have. Like, I am generally an anxious person, so like this is totally like my anxiety reflecting in a strange way, and I'm sure that most people aren't feeling this, but I have a recurring dream regularly that I'm going to try to call 911 for whatever reason, and the reason always varies in the dream, but I can't because my smartphone freezes, or it won't unlock, or the dial thing isn't working, or the touch screen is broken, or whatever, and I'm like constantly trying to like, everything's like in slow-mo, and I'm like trying to make it happen, and it's not happening. And every time in that, I have like this weird desire after that dream. I'm like, I need a phone with buttons. I just need to be able to push 911. I don't think it's super rational, but it's like, I'm like having that dream regularly, and it's like upsetting and terrifying because I have 2 young children, and while I'm a fairly self-sufficient person and self-reliant person, I don't know, I just wanted to have a phone with buttons. So maybe that's not the, motivator for you to, if you wanted to like try to disconnect from the world a little bit but still stay connected, but it certainly actually was a percentage of why, like, the decision to switch. So anyway, I have a phone with buttons now, and that makes me happy. Okay, so those are the like big reasons. Too much social media use, too easy access to social media, social media equals bad was like a huge part of why I chose to switch my phone. And then of course, concern about privacy, and this is a way I can kind of take it in my own hands without getting too techie. And then my weird dream. These other like little teeny tiny reasons why I wanted to switch. Like, I don't want to be a bad example for my kids. I don't really know how this is going to affect my children. I already noticed that they can see me on the phone, and I'm not like sitting around all the time on the phone, but when I do sit down on the phone, I can tell they aren't behaving as well. I can tell that they're like trying to get my attention. Like, I think a lot of parents know when this is happening, But for some reason, it's just like, there's some weird thing where like, well, we can't get rid of the smartphone because we need the smartphone. I don't know. It's weird. I'm not comfortable with it. And so I just decided that for me personally, I'm just gonna ditch it. There's nostalgia, like, I mean, come on. Like, that's so fun. Just like, hello, and then like hanging up on someone is, I don't know. Flipping the phone is just like so 2000. For me, it was 2008. A lot of people had smartphones by then, but it was 2008 for me, and I just enjoyed it. Okay, so those are the reasons why I chose to switch, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some. You know, I worked on this for a long time, kind of deciding what I wanted to do. But anyway, let's talk about this phone. This phone in particular, I chose. It's not the cheap option. There actually are a couple other cheap options. You can find them if you just look on YouTube. This is the Kyocera DuraV Extreme. This is on Verizon. Basic phone plan, but it has some modern features. It has the same charger, USB-C, as my smartphone. It has the same SIM card size as my smartphone. It made the transition kind of easier in a lot of ways. It does have hotspotting capabilities. Verizon charges more for those, so I don't have those activated. This phone is like a construction person phone, so it's like super beefy. It actually has a 2-year warranty from the manufacturer, so I don't need a case for this thing, which is great. There is no app store, no rudimentary Facebook or Twitter or whatever. It does do group texts, which was a big thing for me. The texting interface is kind of awful, to be expected, but at least I can receive group texts. It just has to be enabled in the menu. So anyway, it's pretty awesome little phone. Hey Teddy, do not touch the camera. I wouldn't mind doing like an update video, if you guys want, about like things. I have a couple like things I might change and like settings that I'm going to look into to try to increase the privacy on the phone, and just like the usability of it and stuff. So let me know if you have any questions about this phone, about the experience, whatever. So the camera on the phone sucks. I'm going to use my point and shoot camera. That's my plan. It's portable enough that it hopefully will be around when I want to take pictures of the kids, because that's like a really huge thing I know for a lot of people on switching is the camera. And the camera on this thing, it's okay. It's 5 megapixels. It'll, you know, if you needed to text somebody a quick picture of something, it's fine. But it's not ideal. So, Teddy, I need you to stand right here, okay? I'm almost done. Do you want to be in the camera?
Yeah.
Okay, you have to be quiet. Okay, so, hey, you gotta be quiet. Okay, so, yeah, I don't have a full kind of like workflow worked out in my brain. This is gonna take some transitioning, and kind of all the power using I do on a smartphone as far as my calendar and texting and messaging people on all the various apps and stuff like that. But I think the pros are gonna outweigh the cons, at least hopefully, because this was not a cheap decision to make. And I'm just curious what you guys think. So ask me questions, tell me I'm crazy, tell me I'm stupid, whatever, in the comments below. Let me know if you've done this before, if you have any tips or whatever. Again, I understand that this is a first world problem. It's funny how some people are just like, well, just ignore your notifications or delete the social media and blah, blah, blah. It's like, been there, tried that, gotta do something new. And I can't keep ignoring the problem. You know what I mean? So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. 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 All right, bye.